Yo, Headliner Nation, what's going on? Chris Chouse is back on the main channel. It's been a minute. I missed everybody on this side, man. I've been busy over there on Headliner U, and if you guys don't know, go over to Headliner U and subscribe. Shameless plug that I will provide, but whatever. I am back, and today we will be discussing trending players week 1 for preseason because it's awesome. You know, I love me some trending players because everything changes during the training camp and preseason contest. Injuries, you know, people moving up and down depth charts. We got to know the values of these players. So I got 10 on my list, running backs and wide receivers to talk about today. But what do you guys say we set a goal for this video? Be kind. Hit that like button for me. 1,000 likes and we will give away a free Fantasy Headliners draft guide to a lucky participant in the comments section. So definitely do us that favor. Smash that like button. But what do you guys say, man? We talk a little trending players, running backs, and wide receivers for fantasy football. So like I mentioned, I got 10 players on my board to discuss today about rising and falling value for me and how I see it fit. I may not agree with Kyle, with Jake, and that's okay because it's good to have opposite perspectives of the game, man. Right now, we got Saquon, David Montgomery, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, and Alvin Kamara on the board. And first, we're going to talk about Saquon Barkley. I realize that the value is the primary objective for Saquon this year. 2 seasons of very, horrific fantasy football production based on the ROI. So I completely understand why everybody is out on Saquon this year. This is my last year of full promotion. I am all in on Saquon Barkley because I believe he is finally fully healthy. I do believe in the Brian Daboll offense. They will utilize this running game more than they did in Buffalo because that's where everyone's argument always is saying, well, if Brian Daboll didn't run in Buffalo, what makes everybody think he's going to use Saquon? It's because Saquon's a thoroughbred where Devin Singletary and Zach Moss are not. So it is the different. We could see a lot of checkdowns, especially with guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, with a Kadarius Toney. I think Saquon is going to fit in very, very well. Yes, the caveat is Daniel Jones, because, I mean, he needs to hook up his accuracy a lot more. So for me, as of today, how Saquon has been running, the offensive line looks head and shoulders better than it has in many, many years. I've got Saquon on the rise today, and I'm all in, man. I'm going to die on this hill this year, and I don't care. If you guys want to follow, I got plenty of room on the ship, but I'm definitely dying on this hill with Saquon this year. David Montgomery, for me, he is on the down, and I can't say it any other way. It's not about skill set. We love David Montgomery. I love David Montgomery. It's just this offense, man. The offensive line is horrific in Chicago. The brain trust, they are completely tearing this team down. Justin Fields looks like he has not found his stride just yet. And I mean, with a team with a poor offensive line, with really only Darnell Mooney and then the rest of the wide receiver room really being what they are, interchangeable pieces, do we really believe that David Montgomery is going to be the bell cow, like getting 250 to 300 touches in this offense with high productivity, especially with a defense that is going to be scored on a lot this year? I just don't see it, man. And the only caveat with David Montgomery is you're going to have high-end garbage time potential. Do you want to wait for that heart attack every game? I do not. So as of we sit today, I am out on a David Montgomery because he is trending down. Nick Chubb, he is on the rise because he's got the Chubb rising on everybody. And it only comes, you know what, with the Kareem Hunt situation. I think I'm making a little too much out of it, but as we got to speak of what we know. And what we know today is Kareem Hunt is unhappy, an unhappy human. He wants his bag, man. He wants his money. Cleveland will not pony up the dough. They said, you're under contract, you're not going to get traded, and we're going to keep you on the roster. However, I'm putting the caveat on this that Kareem Hunt now is going to be unhappy. He wants his money, so he's not going to put out like full bore, effort that we saw something from like an Allen Robinson last year. I may be a little off on that to, speculate, but I'm saying maybe he's going to want to protect himself just a little bit more now that he wants his money in the offseason. If he does get traded, this only promotes Nick Chubb that much more. So for me, this, Kareem Hunt is saying that he wants out in Cleveland only gets me rising for a Nick Chubb, and I think it's all good in that respect. Javonte Williams next on my board. I got him on the down, and I mean, it hurts me to say his value is just way too too high for what this offense is going to do. The OC in Denver just came out and said that this running back tandem will be on a pitch count, meaning they're going to split touches basically even. If we get up to 60-40 split for a Javonte, fine, I'll take it. But at pick number 10 in the mid-second round, I mean, that's crazy value for me, especially if you're a guy that's waiting on running backs and you're going to have Javonte as your RB1. That scares me half to death. I still believe he's going to produce extremely good numbers this season, but for the value to return on investment right now after what the OC said, unless Melvin Gordon goes down with an injury, then we can raise Javonte up a little bit more. But right now it's a slight downtrend. You can still trust Javonte, but where the value to ROI is going to be, I should say, I mean, I can't stomach it right now. Alvin Kamara, man, he makes my list, the last one on my running backs, and he is a riser for me right now, simply because the whole worry about an Alvin Kamara was the suspension, right? Is he going to get suspended? What the league will do? The court case, the hearing, blah, 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 got pushed back 60 days, so it's going to be in season. When have we seen any player really get suspended in season, especially for a known offense that we have seen in the past? It does not happen. So this is, his lawyers are doing a very good job continuously pushing this court case out, meaning we likely won't see Alvin Kamara suspended until the following season. That is probably with probability rates around the 85 to 90%, I want to say, as of today. I do believe they will push the court case out till the end of the season once they start playing to say it's in the best interest of the player. However, this offense to me is good, okay? And it's going to open up lanes. If Jameis Winston can stay upright and healthy, you got Chris Olave, my guy. You got Michael Thomas coming back from the injury. You got Jarvis Landry. Will that inhibit lesser production in the pass game for an Alvin Kamara? It could very well. But Alvin Kamara has always been an efficient runner, and I think that we could definitely see with this offense and stacked wide receiver room his first 1,000-yard season if he does not miss time. And for the value that you can get him at, I think it's just glorious all day long, man. Let's go to wide receivers quickly. Brandon Ayuk, man, I was on the train before. He went into the doghouse in the Kyle Shanahan doghouse, and this offseason, it seems like a completely different player. Trey Lance, now the quarterback in San Francisco, he has been connecting on the regular with Brandon Ayuk. If you guys have not been watching the training camp highlights from San Fran, you guys got to go back and watch him. Ayuk is making every catch thrown his way. Big boy stuff, man. His trend is on the rise for me. I love what Brandon Ayuk is doing in this offense. Yes, they paid Deebo Samuel. This is good news, man, because now we're going to have Ayuk and Deebo show once again. Now with a Trey Lance who can actually appropriately spread the ball around, going deep to guys like Ayuk, I think this is where this offense is going to change. They want to install that deep threat appeal, and Brandon Ayuk could be that guy. He's made big plays before. For the value where he's sitting right now, good Lord Almighty, he's definitely rising on my board. Chris Godwin, I know a lot of people are holding out hope for this man. I cannot, man. Not today. He is on the down for me. Even though he has returned to camp, he didn't start on the pup. He is running routes. He is doing work and conditioning. I get it. I'm terrified half to death to trust where his placement is in drafts right now to pick him coming off this ACL. Could he prove me wrong? Absolutely. Am I 100% out? No. But as of today, he is a slight downer for me, especially with Julio Jones on the roster. Not to say Julio is going to be, what he was back in the past, but it fears me. This feels like hedge betting for the Tampa Bay Bucks, where they brought in Julio Jones to hedge the bets that Chris Godwin may have a setback or might not be ready for week 1. I truly believe that Godwin, if healthy, let's say week 6, man, is kind of the target range where I could see him start to take off. So for me, it's too much of a headache to have right now, and I'm going to put him on the down unless things change and I see otherwise. Juju Smith-Schuster, man, I love this guy. I was too low, admittedly. Way too low on Juju in Kansas City. With Patrick Mahomes, with this offense that they have already started to morph it into a different type of pass game. They will not have the speed they had with Tyreek Hill, but they will make it up in the aggregate with, guys like MVS and McCole Hardman. They won't be as explosive consistently, but they will still be able to stretch the field. Who's going to eat up all the targets? Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster. This is what you're going to see. Even if Juju doesn't get, top-end yardage, he's going to catch at least 100 balls in this offense this year. So for a full PPR leagues, Juju is a definite riser on my board, and I can't hate it whatsoever. Love me some Juju in Kansas City. Amari Cooper, man, I got to say it right now. It kind of pains me to say, but I'm on the low right now. Not to say that this won't change either, but I think because of the Deshaun Watson thing. I just don't have, I'm not a fan of Jacoby Brissett being this great supporter of all these weapons that he could potentially have. Amari Cooper is a great route runner, is going to make up where others let down. He is going to be, better for a lesser quarterback. That's what we know Amari Cooper is going to definitely do for this team. But I just can't do it. I can't trust it at this point. There are other players that I want in that vicinity in your drafts at the ADP that I'd be more comfortable, picking at that point. If Cooper does fall in my draft, then fine. We'll then have a different conversation. But until the Deshaun Watson whole situation, we know right now it's 6 games. The league is appealing that suspension, likely going to try to get more. That only puts the down markers more on Amari Cooper as of today. Right now, I'm almost out on Cooper, but he is going down, and things might change if situation only stays 6 games for Deshaun Watson. Courtland Sutton, last one on my board. He is flying up my board like you wouldn't believe. And I think the value to return on investment on Courtland Sutton is going to be massive and monumental. Russell Wilson loved to feed DK Metcalf. Courtland Sutton is not a DK Metcalf, but he has the size of a DK Metcalf. He has already become the primary target in camp right now, and I think Russ is going to feed him like a true wide receiver one. The only thing for me is if Jerry Jeudy can clean up his game. We have seen the dropping problem from Juju for a long time, and for the first 2 years that he's been in the league, but I think he's going to be a lot better with Russell Wilson. But the consistency rates, the catches we have been seeing Courtland Sutton make already in camp from Russell Wilson, the chemistry building is definitely there, and I think he's going to be a great steal for your club. If he can stay healthy and he can be that guy, he can definitely produce top 15 numbers for your wide receivers. I absolutely love Courtland Sutton on the rise, man. But there you go. There is 10 players, 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers, trending up or down as we enter week 1 of the preseason. So there you have it. That is trending players, running backs, and wide receivers as we enter week 1 of the preseason. I mean, everything can still change on the daily, on the weekly, so it's just a good marker of where these players are at today. So don't take it like it's week 1 of the regular season, and this is where my standard is. It's a very fluid event in trending players, so we got to keep in mind all of that. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments for me if you guys want that free draft guide, and do me a favor, go over to Headliner U and hit that subscribe button for me. But nevertheless, we'll see you next time. I am out.
Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.